It initially begins as a frozen precipitation that then encounters a warmer layer of air, and as that frozen precipitation encounters that warmer layer of air, it melts and becomes water droplets. But before it encounters the surface, it becomes cooler once again, and as that water droplet encounters the surface, it freezes. And that's how that accumulation of ice occurs. As that ice begins to accumulate on roadways, it becomes nearly impossible for cars to travel. Unlike snow, plows can clear that off, but plows can't clear ice off. And so it stays there for a day or even weeks. That ice can also accumulate on tree branches and on power lines, and it actually doesn't take a whole lot of ice to add hundreds of pounds of weight to a power line, and once a little bit of wind comes along, those power lines can snap easily, cause power outages, and when you're in the midst of a cold situation, hundreds of thousands, and in some cases even millions of people can be left without power. And when that ice accumulates on tree branches, those tree branches can break easily and block roadways, and it leaves people in a situation in which they can be stuck for a prolonged period of time. One of the most notable storms in recent history actually occurred in January of 2009. This is a situation in which the storm actually spread heavy snow across the southern portion of the upper Midwest, beginning in Missouri and then spreading into Indiana, Illinois, and Kentucky. Then that precipitation changed over to freezing rain. The hardest hit areas were the Ozarks, and ice accumulations were up to 2 inches in some locations that left over 2 million people without power. There were numerous fatalities. The power outages actually ended up affecting the drinking supply, and a lot of people were stuck in one location for a very long period of time. Locations across the Midwest, the southern portion of the Midwest, and into the Northeast. Some locations across that part of the nation can get as much as 12 to 15 hours of freezing rain each year. And typically freezing rain would be developing in the months of November through April, but more often than not in December and January. So preparing for an ice storm is similar to how you would prepare for a snowstorm, but it's most important to think about how you may be left without power. Finding flashlights and making sure you have batteries and food to prepare you for perhaps a prolonged period of time without power. And if you are using a generator, it's really important to use caution in that type of situation because carbon monoxide poisoning has occurred in these types of situations.
Thank you.